Saturday Night Live announcing it's parting ways with its newest cast member, Shane Gillis.
You're fired.
I'm sorry. You did not get a rose.
You're fired! You're cancelled.
In 2019, Shane Gillis had the opportunity of a lifetime and got hired by Saturday Night Live, and then immediately fired in the exact same week. And then eventually he started making money, and now he hosts it, which raises an important point. Money can do a lot of things, but it can't get rid of that extra chromosome. Today, we're going to be reacting to some of Shane Gillis's best jokes, roasting the human participation trophy himself, and exploring how the biggest opportunity blunder of a lifetime somehow made him more successful. Let's get into it. This is Shane Gillis before he was famous.
It's funny to talk about fights, because it's such a fucking douche thing to do. Like, yo, I'm the fucking man in fights. But I am.
Yeah, I have no trouble believing he doesn't win fights.
Unfortunately, the thing that sucks, I'm undefeated in fights.
Who is he fighting, honestly? He does have a very punchable face.
Never lost. But it's not like I win in a cool way.
Good point to point out. This is actually one of his independently released YouTube specials. He's come a long way. When you look at like the design of this room, you've got a random green crate in the background. Their very obvious bar name, Creep Records Smoke Shop. www.creeprecordshop.com.
Like, I have weird strength. It used to be called something different. Strength now. Until they take away my right to say weird.
He has the same delivery even now. I'll tell you what, his best skill is that he can just sit back and enjoy the moment. You don't feel stressed watching him. When you go to those comedians and you just see like punchline after punchline after punchline, he's not doing any of that. He's drinking a beer, he's telling some jokes. He actually started pretty good as a comedian.
I have one move. I just cry and walk straight at the person. Why would you hit me?
He always has that stunned look in his face, like he's just remembered that police can check fingerprints. Look at him, he looks like he's smelling his own fart. His whole brand is just saying redneck things and then like just making them funny. The only problem with that is without context or a really well-structured joke, you just come across like a dick.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Shane did come from humble beginnings. Born in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania in 1987, he briefly attended the West Point Military Academy, proving that they will take literally anyone and giving a new meaning to the word special forces.
You're clinically dumb.
Don't worry, he wasn't going to leak any military intelligence because he only attended that school for 2 weeks. He also played football, which explains why he has the neck of a refrigerator and the posture of someone who's just had surgery to get rid of their hump. He began performing stand-up comedy in 2012. He developed his career through the Philadelphia comedy scene. He then won Philly's Funniest in 2016, and then he decided to start a podcast with Matt McCusker, and that was the very same podcast that led to his downfall.
And then you hit rock bottom.
Welcome to my segment, The Roast of Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis looks like he likes to lick children's toes. Not for the taste, but for the mouthfeel. Shane was once walking in a park and then came across a beautiful woman. She didn't like it. Shane was voted class clown in high school, mainly because class closeted homophobe with a prepubescent man-baby mustache would not fit on that piece of paper. Shane Gillis's smile looks like every fat kid who's ever gone to a fair and then realized that they sell corn dogs. Shane's long-term girlfriend and social media influencer was with him between 2024 and 2025. It didn't last very long and then their relationship ended. He didn't last very long and then their relationship ended. Shane Gillis is the type of man women look at and then collectively agree that abortion should be legal. A lot of women have said they wouldn't sleep with Shane if he was the last man on earth. I don't really have a punchline there, I just thought it was worth a mention. Shane Gillis loves to do a good roast, but most of his start in front of someone's house with a cross set on fire and white pointy hats. Shane Gillis isn't just a comedian, podcaster, or actor, he's also racist. Shane Gillis looks like a body they pulled out of the river from Law and Order, or bloated and gangly looking, covered in someone else's semen. The last time Shane Gillis touched a boobie, he was giving himself a breast exam. That's when he discovered that he did in fact eat too many Doritos. At high school, Shane Gillis was known for hitting on every single girl, with absolutely no success. It got so bad that the school had to ask him to stop teaching. Nah, I'm just kidding, Shane's not smart enough to teach. The roast of Shane Gillis. Do you remember in 2019 when Shane Gillis starred in Saturday Night Live? You shouldn't, because he didn't appear in a single episode. Shane got fired 5 days after being hired, which means that it took 4 days, 23 hours and 58 minutes for the paperwork to go through.
Math.
So how could Snickle Fritz drop the ball so bad? Well, actually, once he was announced as a new crew member, the public decided to go into the background of Shane Gillis. What they found was his amazing comedy, well-structured jokes, and a very good on-stage presence. However, what they also found was his podcast, where he said a lot of homophobic and derogatory terms that I cannot say on YouTube because I will get demonetized. Shane had described himself as a comedian who liked to test boundaries, and then offered to apologize to anyone who was genuinely hurt by his comments. NBC described his remarks as offensive, hurtful, and unacceptable. The problem is that any isolated clips of edgy or dark humor can look really bad without context. But this wasn't even a well-constructed joke. It was a casual conversation. He was trying to be funny. Anyone who's ever attempted comedy knows. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. NBC had two options. They could defend their newest comedian, or send him off to the comedy god in the sky. And then they said goodbye to Shane. Bye-bye! He was an SNL crew member, in the same way that most middle-aged men have a gym membership. So hopeful to have just never gone back after the first week.
Pathetic.
Should you be able to judge a man on one joke, or is it worth giving him another chance?
Panicked and got this haircut. I was like, if I fix my hair, I'll look good. Like, that was the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, he's hitting a good angle coming back to comedy. Starting with a self-deprecating joke always makes the crowd feel more comfortable. Yes, I know, women feeling comfortable around him seems unusual.
There's a Dominican barbershop by my house in New York. I think I'm the first white guy that's ever been in there. I was basically Christopher Columbus of this barbershop.
He still looks like he's eating crayons, but he's also writing good jokes with those crayons. This has 55 million views. That's insane. I think the reason why he was so successful is because he wasn't on SNL. Like, they had decided he was too dangerous for TV, and then he went off and did his stand-up, became even more successful. People are just sick of this mass-produced slop.
We're producing them as we speak.
Every comedian today just doesn't want to offend anyone. Most people, they want a comedian who's willing to test boundaries. Others just like him because he has a really good Donald Trump impression.
Ed's wife, ugly as a dog. You've got a dog wife, Dad.
But I'll get to that later. Basically, he clawed his way back to fame, using nothing but a camera and the ability to grow just enough facial hair, like a porn star from the 60s.
Oh, yeah!
Matt and Shane's secret podcast was a major success, rapidly gaining loyal fans, much like the Swifties of our time. Although, what would you call his followers? Gilly's gang? The Shaniacs? The unsupervised uncles? Whatever you want to call it. He had 847,000 subscribers, and he really doesn't struggle to fill his gigs now. He then made Gilly and Keeves, an independent sketch comedy series created by Shane Gillis and John McKeever, basically just demonstrating his sketch comedy abilities. Kind of like SNL, but with no money.
Seriously.
And to his credit, people actually loved it. If YouTube didn't exist, Shane would be underneath a bridge somewhere blaming stuff on the government. But YouTube does exist, so he's rich. And because he's a white, rich Republican, yes, he can do an amazing Donald Trump impression.
I had a few Bud Lights. I'm going to turn into Sleepy Joe in a minute. We're both going to be doing a Joe Biden impression.
Everybody's saying I should have your office because
He's just running with it now. I feel like every time you see him, he's in a blue suit and shit orange makeup.
my cubicle is a disaster right now.
Well, can I have a minute to gather my things?
Bye-bye. People say I've got bad makeup. Tana looks
The hair's so shit.
painted her face like a clown. That's what we're gonna call her. Tana, it the clown. She looks like him. She looks like she should be in a sewer. Bothering children.
Your wife changed into the afterlife.
He's trying not to laugh so hard. Do you know what it is too? It's his little standaways. Afterlife.
Afterlife. That was the most fantastic lovemaking you've ever had.
Not really. It only lasted
2 hours. That was a 2-hour love session. You had a big O in there, a very big.
It's pretty easy to do Donald Trump. You just gotta pretend that you're the best and do a lot of hand gestures. Make your mouth into a tiny little butthole. Pretend like you're in a ventilator. Just make weird sounds as well. That helps. Everything's beautiful. It's great. Oh, it's the best. The big beautiful bill.
Oh. Want to go again?
I'd love to, but you're too tired.
Dude, it's fucking haunting. That impression is so convincing that once JD Vance went to go see Shane Gillis, the second he heard it, he automatically started bending over. It's literally the only impression he does, and it's fantastic. He had an amazing comeback. And you know it was good because in 2023, he debuted on Netflix in his special Beautiful Dogs.
Netflix is pretty interested.
And then he produced the series Tires in 2024. Basically just a funny comedy about when he worked at an auto shop. And then what you already know is that Shane Gillis got so successful at this point in his career that half a decade later, after firing him, he returned back to SNL. And not just because he snuck into the building with a fake mustache, but because they asked him to host an episode. He's not even a crew member, he was the host. That is the professional equivalent of being banned from McDonald's and then returning as the Hamburglar, a role that I personally think he was born to play. So did firing him help his career or hurt it? The simple answer is kinda. I mean, he got publicly humiliated and then no network would touch him, but that also gave him the opportunity to write jokes that he wouldn't have been able to say on SNL. If you've seen SNL, you know their jokes are more like this. Raunchy, yes. Edgy, no. But it's not offending anyone. It is, however, assaulting everyone's eyes. But I mean, he has Netflix specials, Netflix series, a successful YouTube, a successful podcast. I don't think he could be doing any better right now. The firing only really put him on the map because there is no such thing as bad publicity. So what's my final verdict on Shane Gillis? Well, I've given him a lot of shit this video, but to be honest, I find him hilarious. I think he's really, really funny. Shane is kind of living proof that there is always room for redemption. And maybe for comedians it should be that way, because time's always changing. Their whole job is to be edgy. And if they miss the mark, that doesn't mean they can't learn from it. Let me know what you guys think. Did he deserve to get fired? And is he funnier now than he was before? Let me know. And subscribe before NBC finds out what I said in a podcast 5 years ago.